Hello, this is Judd with PresenterMedia. In this tutorial, we'll take a look at the 3D graphics maker and the designs you can customize and make your own with it. So to get started, I'm signed into PresenterMedia and I'm on the home page. If I go to the top navigation and mouse hover over custom graphics, I'll go to the bottom where it says 3D graphics maker. And this will open up the category page of all the designs you can customize with the 3D graphics maker. So if I scroll down, I can see more designs, and if I click through the pages, I can also see more designs. And I'm going to get started with this street banner advertisement looking design. And now I'm on the close-up page for that item, and I can scroll down and see similar objects in different positions and different designs on them. So I can, if I wanted to go with like a more fall design, I could click on that one and start customizing that one. And if I scroll down further, I can check out just information about this design, and I can also click the favorite star if I want to save it to my favorites to start designing later. I can. So to get started right now, I just want to click here to start, this green button, and that will open up the 3D graphics maker customizer. And once that loads, if you've used our version 2 customizer, graphics customizer, this will look a little similar. So on the left hand side, you'll have your work design area where you can modify changes to the text and add images or swap out images on some designs and change colors. And you can see that if I move this over here, over in the 3D preview, it updates in real time. So this is taking advantage of the newness on the web, on the World Wide Web. So this is a new technology that's never existed before on PresenterMedia, so it's really cool. We're really excited about it, and yeah, let's get started. We're going to go over to this right hand side. This is the new 3D preview window, so let's take a look at that since that's brand new. And so I can see there's a little scroll right here, this little green scroll. I can click and scroll down and see more options over here. Or I can click on full screen right here. So when I do that, my custom design area will disappear for now. If I click out of full screen, it'll come back. So just click into full screen, and then you have a bigger preview of your image preview window. And then you have all your designs right over, or all your options right over here. You don't have to scroll. So excuse me, keep that in mind when you're customizing inside this tool. And let's take a look at this top part right here. And with this, you can change colors inside the object here. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And just click on the little color picker right here, and that will open up the color chooser. And I can click and drag down here to find different colors. If I wanted a blue, yeah, it looks good. I like that. Okay. I like the blue. I'm going to go a little bit darker. And once I'm done with that, I just click outside of the box and it disappears. And then I'm going to click on this frame right here, and I'm going to choose a color. So this little color picker, I'm going to pick that, and then I can move over to the design or the preview window and just pick a color to choose from. That looks pretty good. It's a little bright, so I'm just going to drag it down to this the darker area and get more of a, let's see, more of a yellow. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'll go with that. Okay. And that's all the colors you can customize on this one. Some may have more, some may have less. And then underneath that, you'll see the background gradient tool, and you'll see a bunch of presets right here that you can choose from. And if I click on one, you see my background color changes to a different gradient. And I'm going to go, we'll just choose this one right now, but underneath you'll see your gradient bar, and you'll have these little circles you can move around on this bar right above the color bar down here. So, and if I click on that, I'll get a preview window where I can change the colors and make them my own. I'm just going to go with this gray preset right here and just keep that for now. And so just play around with those settings, and right here you have your gradient position. So I can get have my gradient come in from the side or from the bottom, and you can kind of just position it where you want it. I'm just going to keep it kind of level so it kind of looks more like a ground shadow. Okay, so now I'm going to go underneath the background gradient tool, and you'll see where it says exposure. And in here you can darken or lighten the object. And underneath that, I'll have the shadow opacity. That'll just make the shadow darker or brighter. And shadow softness will just kind of make it a little fuzzier or not fuzzy. So I'm going to keep it around there. And then you have light direction. And if I click into there and pull that around, you can see that I can change the shadow and the light direction, and then change the direction of the shadow is facing. So yeah, just play around with those settings. Underneath it, you have the reset preview. As I'm editing this 3D preview, if I ever want to change back to the original settings, I can click reset preview. I'm not going to do that right now because it reset everything I just did. I'm going to go over to the preview window now, and you can see in the bottom right hand corner there's a few options here. One is the zoom. So if I click on this slider, you can see I can zoom in and out of this item. If I hold the left mouse button and click inside the preview area, I can also rotate around the object to get a different view if I want. And so I'm just doing that by holding left mouse button and dragging. And also I can use the right mouse button, hold that down, and you can see I can move it around. So one rotates, the left mouse button will rotate, right mouse button moves. And if you have a scroll wheel on your mouse, that will also zoom. If you don't have a scroll wheel, use this slider down here that we just used before to zoom in. Okay, so two other tools inside here, the last ones we'll look at, is the move tool and rotate tool. So we just looked at the move and rotate over here, but that kind of just rotates around the scene, around the object. If you want to actually rotate the object, you can click in here. We'll take a look at the rotate one right now. So the bottom one, which is this one, if I click into it, it becomes highlighted, and you can see these rings form around the object. So what these are is rings that you can rotate on the object on. So you'll have a red ring, a green ring, and a blue ring, and each one rotates the object a different way. So let's select the green ring first. So if I mouse over the green ring, I can tell it's selected because it turns yellow. You can see that it turns yellow, and if I just drag, I can rotate that now. And if I go over to the red ring and it turns yellow, that means that one's selected, and I can left mouse click and drag, and you can see now I'm rotating the actual object. So it doesn't really work for the sign here, but we'll just rotate it anyway. Maybe the sign's being blown away in a storm. So that's the only way I would think a sign would be hovering off the ground, flying away. And so yeah, I got that rotated where I want it now. And I can go to this tool right here, which is the move tool. So it moves the object. And you get the same thing. You get these colored arrows. And if I mouse over them, they turn yellow. So each one moves the object in a different way. The red one will move it a little bit this way. The green one will move it up and down. The blue one will move it a little bit forward and back. So just to keep that in mind. So this is good for like if you have a book or something and you want it rotated, kind of floating off the ground, you could use that. Excuse me again. Okay, so to turn that off, you just click the button again down here, and that turns that off. And now you can see that the object goes out of my image area, which is this gray area. This will not show up in your image, only the part in the middle, and I'll show you that right here. If I go to where it says make image down here and click on that, you can see that image is now cut off. And let's go back to where it says build another up here. And to change that, you want to go down to this area where it says aspect, and these three little icons here. So if I click one of those, you can see that it changes the size of my area, of my image area. And I can click on aspect right here, and it changes these to excuse me, got a dry throat, so bear with me as I cough in your ears. Okay, so I can change the size here, and we're just going to go with a square for now. That looks good. Okay, so I've got everything designed I wanted in the 3D space or the 3D preview. If I click exit full screen, it'll bring me back to my design area, which I can start designing this now. And to do that, if you haven't used the version 2 customizer, you can just click on different elements inside here. So if I want to change that background color, I could change it right here by clicking this little swatch and changing to a solid color, or it looks like this has a gradient on it. You can see how it goes a little darker to lighter. If I right click, yep, it says edit gradient, so it's got a gradient. So if I click that, over here I'll get gradient tools, kind of just like the ones I had for the background. I'll have my presets that I can choose from. So I'm going to choose from this one, and they won't show up over here until you click apply gradient. And I'm going to make them a little bit darker by clicking on the little round color pickers and just dragging the color down in there. So now I've got a darker gradient, and you can see that shows up over here. If I go to the 3D preview tab, you can see that's updated now in real time. And over here you can move objects around, and you can also rotate them by this little dolly above here. If you hold shift, it will click into place, and these little circles in the corners will resize things and make them bigger. So this object right here, if I want to change the colors, it's actually a group of objects. You can tell it's a group by where it says edit group right here. And if I want to change the elements inside this group, I double click into it, and now that kind of separates it and isolates it from the other design, so you can easily change it. So I'm going to just change these to white. Right now they have a gradient on them, but I want to take the gradient off, and I just click on this little swatch up here, click save. It's because it's already set to white. I want it white. I could set it to another color. Click on the swatch over here. So I could set it to a purple if I wanted to, and a white. So if I wanted something like that, close that. You can see, oops, I need to move. To get it to update, I might just need to move the object around a little bit. And now that's updated in real time. I'm going to change that one to a white. Have everything white and close. So to close out of a group, yeah, you just click this little close button up here. And now I'm back into the work area where I can move it around as one whole object. And yeah, just keep playing around with these items. Some items will have pictures you can swap out. You can always insert pictures by going to Insert, My Media, and Uploads. And if you can upload your own images. Again, you can go over, there's a tutorial about how to upload and do that. And I'll show you how to view that in just a second here. So you can go to My Uploads and then Upload Media and choose an image to load in. I have many of images in here. Yeah, let's go. So I could load this. Say this is a logo I could put down in the corner here. Oops. There we go. And you can see that now shows up down here. And so you can load an image in. I'm gonna just go with what I had on here. I can also load some shapes in if I want different icons. I can search through these icons. I could load like a car in, or any icon you choose. I can load a photo in from the photo library, and I'll just load these cookies in just as an example. I could put a big thing of cookies on there. That's a nice advertisement for homemade cookies. And you can also crop this image to a square, or I can change the shape to whatever shape I want. Go with a circle, something like that, and apply crop over here, and you can see now it's in the shape of a circle. So I could put that in the middle of this, and now I have my cookies. Yes, my #1 cookies. So I want to change the text inside this work area as well. So if I go to quick edit, I can change all the text that's inside this work area inside there. So I'm going to type in award, let's just go major award. So these cookies get the major award. And if I want to this doesn't really make sense, the award major. So if I want to reorder these text elements, this is a group, so I have to double click into it once again, and then it isolates those, and I can start to move them around. And when I select a text object, up here in the top I get my text options I can choose from, so I can click on style to bold and do all that stuff. This right here changes the font size. This will change like the spacing between the letters. So I can also resize the text by clicking these circles on the corners as well. So I'm going to move stuff around, and I'm just moving stuff around by clicking on it and dragging it around. Let's take that. There, the major award. That sounds better. Something like that. So once you get that laid out in the edit mode, edit group mode, you can click close over here, and you can see that that's updated over here. And I can click on these corners to make that whole group bigger. And I'm going to make this text up here bigger. That looks good. Okay, let's take a look at the 3D preview. And I'm going to go to full screen again. Okay, I like that. Yep, the major award for best cookies ever. And let's see. Okay, I think that looks good. If you wanted to change out this image, you could just right click, change element, and replace it with the, okay, so I get my crop in there, apply crop, major award for the best flowers ever. So if you see an image on another customizable item like this, you can just right click on it and you can change it out with your own image, or select from that library of images. You can also add clip art from our library here. So I know it's still going on. So I'm going to say you want to do an advertisement for health. And let's delete this. I can just, oops, drag that back over. All right, hold on a second. Right. Okay, so if I go to the tabs, go to layers over here, I can select stuff, and if I hold the arrows on my keyboard, I can move stuff over. There we go. So yeah, once again, so the layers, you'll have all your layers over here if you want to select them that way as well. So let's go back to our 3D view, and let's see, go to full screen. That, it's a little light, that graphic, probably because of the light hitting off that object is making it a little bit lighter. So if I go to filters, I can go to brightness and take the brightness down on an image. And now if I go to 3D preview and move that around a little bit, you can see that, yep, now that's a little bit darker, easier to see. Okay, that looks good. Major award, this doesn't make any sense now. Maybe major award for the person that wears their mask the most in the winter to stay the healthiest. I don't know. It's up to you what you want yours to say. Anyway, I think that's good for now. And yeah, just start playing around with the 3D preview settings to get what you want it to look like, and start updating the work design area over here to get what your custom area you want to say. And I'm going to save this right now. So click save. Right now it's set to the largest size. And again, the aspect is set to save out as a square. Right there, I can change that always to widescreen and flip and get a skinnier if I want to, but I'm going to go with the square right here. I can select, if I want to save it as a clear object, I would do that by clicking on clear. If I want to save it as a gradient, I can do that. If I want to save it just with a solid color like a white or any other color, I just click this little paint fill and fill that, and now that changes the background. I'm going to stick with the gradient, and I'm going to make my image, and now I can see my image here. And usually I save to my media, and that will save it into my media and uploads, and we'll take a look at that here. And I can also save it to my computer. It prompts me to save, sure. And now I'm going to exit out of it up here, this window, and go to My Media and Uploads. And you can see that that is now saved in My Media and Uploads. And if I click on the preview there, I can see what it looks like, and I can download and save this creative to my computer, and I can redo it, and I can delete it if I want to. I can also save it from there, and right here I can save it, click to save, and you want to do that if you want to keep this object in your, or this render of the 3D graphics maker from the 3D graphics maker. If you want to save that forever, you want to click to save, otherwise it'll be deleted after 90 days. So just keep that in mind, that the power is in your hands to save that. If you're signed up for a free membership, you don't have that option. So if you want to save stuff forever, upgrade to the Unlimited Pro membership, and you'll be able to click and save forever. If I click redo, I can go back into the project and continue working as it loads here. Okay, so let's say I want to change it to a widescreen. So let's go into the full screen 3D preview now. And I want to say, I want to move this over. So again, right click and move over, and hold and move. And I'm going to put this right here. That looks good. And say I want to load this into a widescreen PowerPoint slide. I could do that. And I just click make image, and now I have my widescreen image saved to My Media. That looks good. Okay, and save that. Let's go close out of that. That looks good. Okay. All right, so I've got my images saved to my computer. In My Media, I could download them here as well if I wanted to. And let's just download those quick. I'm going to save them in just to my downloads. Okay, hold. Download, save. I'm going to redo this one really quick. And I'm going to download it as a clear background just to show you. So select clear, make image, and download. And I didn't save that one in My Media. I just downloaded it. Okay, and say I'm going to open PowerPoint quick. So just bear with me as PowerPoint opens. If you don't want to watch this, you can leave and go start customizing on your own, and just get familiar with the new customizer as it. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go new blank presentation. So I have PowerPoint open, and I'm gonna go insert pictures from this device, and I'm gonna go to my downloads where I save those pictures, and let's see, I'm gonna load them all in. Okay, so I'm going to right click and make a few new slides. Okay, so I'm going to copy these to the different slides. There's one right behind there, so we can take a look at them as they come in. Okay, so as I said before, I downloaded that widescreen image, and that fits just nicely right on the slide. So if I preview that, oops, preview's on the wrong screen. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Slideshow, change the monitor. Let's see if that worked. Yep, so you can see that that comes up full screen, and you can add any text in this area if you want, or picture, or whatever you choose. This one, you could put it over here, and then have a white area to the, or whatever color background you choose over here. You can put your text and stuff over there. And the clear one, you can put the clear one anywhere you want because it has a clear background. I could format the background to have a gradient like that, and let's play that. So now it fits right over any kind of background because it's got a clear background. So those are some ways you can download your 3D Maker projects as images to load into PowerPoint. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to go over right now. Thanks for watching. If you continue this far, I applaud you because it was a little longer tutorial. So yeah, take advantage of this new tool and the new technology that we've added to PresenterMedia. And this is the 3D text or the 3D graphics maker. And yeah, get started making some awesome new creatives for your social media, for your presentations, or any kind of marketing material, whatever you choose. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next tutorial. Bye-bye.